Your vibe attracts your tribe. If you've ever heard this, maybe you've thought to yourself, what the heck is a vibe? A vibe refers to the word vibration, which is exactly what we're going to talk about today in the Mindset Mastery podcast on the Fit Pharmacist Healthcare podcast. Joined again with my good friend, Alex Liu. Welcome back, man.
Always good to be back.
So, vibration. We're not talking about, tuning forks or, weird stuff. We're literally talking about, exactly, hitting the spoon. We're talking about the law of attraction and the vibe or vibration that you put out into the world and bring into your own life. Now, if this is new to you or you have not really gone into learning what this is about, it might sound a little crazy or a little hokey pokey, but it actually is a law just as serious as the law of gravity. You won't drop something or walk out on the end of a deck because you're going to fall, because the law of gravity exists. Just like if you think about negative things and talk about negative things, that is what you're going to attract in your life. If that's true, then we can say the opposite is also true. If we think about positive things, talk about positive things, and put in the work, that is what we're going to attract. So guys, this is what we're going to talk about today on the Mindset Mastery podcast, the law of attraction.
So how can we use that to our advantage? Because law of attraction, whether we know it or not, everyone is practicing it and everyone is experiencing it.
Yes.
So how can we use this law in our advantage to make our lives better?
Exactly. And that's a great point you made is you don't have to understand it. You don't even have to believe it, but it exists. It's just like a baby. Like gravity exists. They're trying to walk and they fall down. Gravity. They don't understand it. They don't even heard this word before, maybe gravity. But it's a law. We all obey and abide by it, just like the law of attraction. So the first thing is having an awareness about what is the law of attraction.
So what is a law of attraction?
Yes. So basically, like we said in the beginning of this podcast, your vibe or vibration attracts not only your tribe, but your quality of life. So you might have some people in your life that you kind of keep out that are super negative because they're just negative. They put off bad vibes because it seems like they attract negative things, negative people, and are always talking about bad things and things that you don't want to be a part of.
Yeah, and there's like people that in our life that everyone knows someone that they're always lucky, they have the best luck, all the good things that happens to them, and you're wondering why this person is so lucky.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Someone that's just like always winning the giveaways, the radio contests, winning the free tickets, always get picked for like all the stuff that just seems to happen. Yeah. You might have had an awesome day in your life where things just go your way, green lights on the drive to work, you get there early, someone buys you coffee ahead of you in line, all the great things. And you're thinking, how did this happen? Like, I want a day that's like this every day. I don't want a day where, I sleep in, the alarm clock goes off, and it's just like a cascade of bad events. You want the great day. And that's what the law of attraction can allow you to do if you understand it and apply the simple principles that we're going to share with you today.
So let's start with the first principle, because because we use this all the time, is words. The words we say actually has power to it. Yeah. Because the words is literally we're sending out vibrations to the world. The words we say have power, or can whether give us power or take away power.
Yes.
For example, if I say, absolutely do not, Adam, don't think of the elephant.
Oh,
what you just did.
Just thought of an elephant, but you told me not to.
I told you not to though.
Yeah.
So why? Because our brain focus on the subject, not the words, don't do this, don't do that. Because we're probably seeing like when parents telling their kids, don't touch this, don't touch that. And then the kids turns out to be, touching the fork or touching the knives. Because when we say don't do something, our mind is picturing the subject, picturing the action. Because our brain is wired to do what they want. Our brain is wired to focus on something, not to avoid that thing.
Exactly. So you get what you focus on, even if it's an avoidance context. So like Alex said, don't think of the elephant. You just thought of the elephant, even though it said don't. So this is an important distinction to know about how your brain works, is it cannot filter out the words don't, not, and no. So if you say, don't think of the elephant, you're going to think of it. I'm not going to do this. You're going to be thinking of it. No, I don't want to do that. Even though you said like, no, I don't want to, let's say, go bowling. You just thought of bowling. The brain cannot distinguish don't, not, no. So if you're focusing on what you don't want, all you're doing is drawing attention to that thing. Now, that's not to say this is bad and useless. It's very useful because, like we said, the brain focuses on what you paint a picture of in your mind. So if you say, don't think of an elephant, that's what you do not want. Think of what you do want. So if the elephant, for example, is your least favorite animal, literally think of the opposite. What is your favorite animal? Maybe it's a puppy. So there you go. If you know what your least favorite or most undesirable thought is or focus, that will lead you to the opposite, the thing that you do want most. So if you're finding yourself, when you take stock of this, of your thoughts, if you're finding yourself focusing on what you don't want and things you want to avoid, all you have to ask yourself is, if that's what I don't want to think about, what do I want to think about? And if you think and make this a daily practice with your thoughts, it's going to train you to focus all your thoughts on what you do want. Even if in your mind something pops up, like, oh, I don't want to take that road, there's too much traffic there. Okay, what's the alternate route? Think, oh, I want to take that alternate route, it's better. Things like that will shift your focus. So this is something that takes work, it takes effort. But if you're cognizant of this, if you're aware that the brain will focus on anything you put in there, put what you want in there. Because if you put what you don't want in there, that's what's going to be focused on. So that's the first step, is be aware that whatever you think of, even if it's, I don't want this, I don't want that, that's what you're going to focus on. So focus on what you do want. If you're focusing or thinking about what you don't, use that as a tool to identify the opposite, that is what you do want.
Bingo. Yeah. Because, for example, like a really simple thing is if we want to buy this car, it's want to buy a red Honda. And then we'll see red Hondas everywhere because that's what we focus on.
Exactly.
And then we can apply that to the things we do want in our life. Then we'll see the opportunities. Instead of we see the negative side, well, this doesn't work and whatever I do doesn't work. Instead, if we focus on the subject that we want to achieve every day, then everything that happens to us is an opportunity to get us closer to that goal. So we can use that as our advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's say if we focus on something that's negative and we sometimes wonder why bad things are always happening for us. It's because that this is what we focus on. Why some people, they feel like they have bad luck. It's just what they're focusing on the negative things. Well, I think your favorite quote is life does not happen to us. Life happens for us.
Exactly.
So this is actually a really key point of law of attraction, is to really focus on the blessings in life, to really focus on what you want in life.
Exactly.
So yeah.
That's spot on. And there's two things that you want to remember, is it's not you just wish it and think it and it happens. All we're talking about is this puts you in the frame of mind so that the work you then put in is going to be literally helped and propelled by the law of attraction. So I want to make it clear that we're not saying think it and it shall pass. It's think it and you must put in the work. And then the second thing that Alex touched on is luck. You know someone that's super lucky. I guarantee that they're probably always positive, or at least almost always positive. Now, if you know someone like that, you probably know or have met someone that seems to be almost unlucky. They're probably always negative and looking about, oh, look what happened to me, woe is me, pity party, right? There's no coincidence between the two. It's the frame of mind. It's not this causes that, it's the other way around. It's the mindset creates the stroke of luck. So if you are that person that's having bad luck, or you don't have any sort of luck to speak about, I guarantee that you want to be that lucky person. So it's not just something you're born with. Here's another quote that is so true. The harder you work, the luckier you get. And what we're talking about is framing the thoughts you have to make them affirmative, to make them positive. So if you work on making your thoughts focused on what you do want, you will get luckier because you're focusing on what you do want.
Yeah, you are, yes, like putting out the work that attracts more good things to happen to you.
Exactly.
Instead of being a victim by me, because what we focus on is what we see every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every person can have exact same circumstance.
Yes.
But this person is more towards the gratitude side.
Exactly.
Always focusing on what I'm grateful for. This person's quality of life probably are 10 times better than the victim mentality person.
Absolutely. And you don't have to be victim of circumstance. That's so huge. I have patients that come in my pharmacy and they are so negative because they just got diagnosed with high blood pressure. And they talk about, that's all they have, just high blood pressure. And they talk about, oh, this is so terrible. I can't believe I have to take these meds, blah, blah, blah. But then I have patients come in that have less than 6 months to live because they're a stage 4 terminal cancer patient, married, leaving kids behind, and they're talking about how beautiful of a day it is and how they can't wait to spend time with their family. Totally different circumstance, and you would think it's the opposite, but you'd be amazed how often this happens. It doesn't matter that you don't have the perfect situation. It doesn't matter that you don't have the ideal hand dealt in life. What matters is what you choose to focus on in your mind. And this is exactly how the law of attraction can position you so that the work you put in will lead you to the results that you desire and deserve.
Yes. And we can take that to another scale. It doesn't have to be like a really small thing. It can also be really huge.
Yes.
For example, if you have a goal of living in a mansion, living in a zip code in North Carolina, that specific goal can also be achieved from using law of attraction. So can you explain that? Can you explain the process of you picturing that, your dream house and that emotional impact you have, the process of using law of attraction to make it come true?
Absolutely. So you want to literally perceive that dream as your reality. So what would you have to do that? Well, you can have pictures. That's one step. Or you can physically go to that place. You can visit your dream house. You can take all the sensory images and make that as real as possible. So if we're using the house example, you can go to the dream house. You can take pictures of the room. Take a picture of you standing outside of that house. Because when you see that picture of you and the house in the frame, that makes it real. You might not own it yet, but what you see is you and the house. And that sends you messages that this is a reality. Mm-hmm. You can feel the banister when you're walking up the stairs. You can feel that feeling. You can smell what the house smells like. You can see that picture. You can hear yourself talking in that house. You can take a video of yourself in the house walking. So you have that to help you relive that experience. And if you do this continually, it's not going to make it magically happen. What it's going to do is say, wow, this reality feels so real. What would I have to do in order to make this happen? Are the choices and actions that I'm doing today getting me closer to this reality or farther away? I guarantee that's going to make you think twice about taking a nap, watching Netflix, whatever. And it's going to make you feel that experience again of being in that house. And it's going to make you want to own that and make that reality your real life and lead you to a place to think, what do I have to do in order to make this experience my daily living? That's what you can do. And it doesn't have to be a big house. This can be a car. Yeah. If you have a dream car, go test drive it. You can find pictures online, put them on your phone. You can go stand next to it, get a picture, test drive it, video yourself when you're not driving, have your friend video you in the car driving it. Have a picture in the car. This makes that a real experience that you can look at every single day. Make it the background of your phone. Make that a reality. You can do anything that you want and make that a reality. And that's called a vision board. Mm-hmm. But this is real life living. So this is taking the concept of a vision board, which is a whole other podcast, and making this a reality through experience. Now, that's the second tip. The third one is extremely important because the third one is going to determine how fast your reality will manifest. Ooh. And that's going to come from something that you, the listener or viewer, are probably thinking. You've heard step 1, you've heard step 2, but there's a little voice in your head that says, but I can't do that, or I can't do that because I can't buy a house because I'm in debt. I can't do this vacation because I don't have the money. I can't achieve this because I don't have the degree. They're limiting beliefs. Here's what you do to break through that. Find evidence that breaks those limiting beliefs down and empowers that what you want can be achieved. Here's an example.
So good.
The house that you want to own. Right now, you might think, well, I can't do that because I can't afford the payments, because I don't have good credit, because I don't live close to there, because I would have to move, whatever it is. Ask yourself this question. Has anyone owned that house? It's built, so yes. Has anyone owned a house bigger, more expensive, farther away? Whatever your limiting belief is, it comes down to this simple question. Has anyone done that before? And when you find that answer, because I guarantee there will be affirmative answer, that is evidence that you can stack so that when your limiting belief comes up, whatever that may be, you can throw the evidence right at it. And that takes away that limiting belief power. And the stronger your belief is and the less limiting belief you have, the faster your dream will manifest, provided you put in the work. And that is exactly how it works. That is literally the law of attraction crash course 101. Now, listening to this is a great start, but this is something you have to literally make a daily practice every single day. Monitoring your thoughts, which sounds crazy. Anytime you think of a negative thought or find something that comes in your mind, focusing on what you do not want, use that as a trigger, not bad, or don't use that as judgment, like, oh, I'm failing this, I'm doing it wrong. No, use that as a trigger of, okay, I've successfully identified what I don't want, so now I can find the opposite of what I do want. And then if you make that a practice, you're going to be able to do it automatically. So the negative thought might pop in, but boom, there's the positive one. There's what you do want, and that's what you're going to focus on. Then you can keep that momentum going. And if that little voice pops in your head where it's like, oh, you can't do that because, or, oh, you want that, Ferrari, you can't afford that. Mm-hmm. Has anyone else bought it before? Has anyone bought a Ferrari in addition to other cars? Then you might say, oh, I'm too young. I'm 32. Has a 32-year-old ever bought a Ferrari? How about a 30-year-old? How about a 25-year-old? How about a 20-year-old? And if a 20-year-old can buy it and you're 32, you can buy it. Right now, you might not be financially set up, but your limiting belief was you're too old or you're not experienced enough.
Yeah.
But the contrary evidence is someone younger than you already did it. So if they did it, you can do it.
They might even have less.
Exactly.
Dude, what you just said, the whole thing is so key because if we want to attain something, we have to go from I feel like I can get a Ferrari to I believe I can get a Ferrari.
Exactly.
Then you know what? To next level is I know I'm gonna get a Ferrari.
You have to make that your core belief.
It's a knowing thing. So it might not happen, but you know you're gonna get this thing. For example, if I'm okay, so I want to have Chipotle for dinner tonight. I don't go like I kind of want to have Chipotle for dinner tonight. I don't say I believe I'm gonna have Chipotle. I just know I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, well, I already got Chipotle for us,
so it's already happened.
It's gonna happen. Yeah, but you're so sold. There it is. It's boom.
But it's a knowing thing. So when you know you are when you know that's your goal, when you know it's gonna be achieved, then there's no question because it's a knowing. It's something that's really deep. It's deeper than believing it.
Yep, and that puts your integrity on the line. So when you change a wish into your belief, that's something that is you. But you're going to know maybe that's something that you have to work towards. But if you know you're going to achieve it, that's now a part of your integrity. Yeah. So that now positions you, basically forcing you to level up that, okay, I have to put in extra work because this is a belief, this is me.
Yes.
I have to be congruent with my integrity, so I have to put in the work that's required to do this.
Yeah, it's your identity, it's your standard, it's who you are. If everything is aligned, there's no question. Like it's a 100%. Whatever you want to achieve is going to become true because it's incongruent with who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that takes that whole concept of integrity and your identity, and you can really shape the life you want by shaping your belief of who you are. So whoever you are, whoever people think you are, if that's not who you want to be, you have the power to change that. And this law of attraction is exactly the guide to allow that to happen to a better rate. So we talked about a lot of awesome concepts today, just touching on the surface. I mean, guys, you can go really deep on this. A really awesome book, the best one I've read. You might have heard The Secret on Netflix, a documentary, or read the book The Secret. That kind of touches on the law of attraction, but in order to really understand it on a deep level and learn how to use it to shape your own life, I recommend this book right here, Law of Attraction by Michael Lozier. I have a link to that in the show notes, but best book by far I've read on this topic. It's very brief, very short, and it's also on Audible. It's only about a 2-hour audiobook, but I've listened to that about 5 times. I've read this book in depth several times over. Always take away another key golden nugget each and every time I read it. So highly recommend, if this is something new to you, if this is something you've heard of but not thought about it in this way, or it's something you want to learn more about, I highly recommend this book. Very short read, but can literally change the core of your beliefs and your identity.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, guys, so that's the Law of Attraction podcast. I hope this was helpful in helping you to master your mindset. This is Dr. Adam Martin with the Fit Pharmacist Healthcare Podcast, signing off with my best bud, Alex Liu. Go forth, be great, and dispense your full potential. See you guys.